Today, I'm gonna talk about a tweet that I made a couple of days ago that went pretty viral. It has 35.9K views and 473 likes and 88 comments. And what I posted was, imagine if season 3 of Tekken you only could use heat one time per match, so that you have to be really careful how you use it. Wouldn't that make the game a lot better and force normal Tekken more? So imagine that. Imagine if heat was once per match, and if you use it, you can't use it for the rest of the match. So you got to be really careful how you go into heat or how you use heat. Obviously some characters like Heihachi and stuff like that, or Lydia, they will have to change the game a little bit more. But that will make it so the game is a lot more solid, and you have to play them a lot more solid just by having heat once per match. So let's read what some people were thinking. JD is from New York, and I know him. He's a cool dude. Heat smash should do zero environmental damage, no wall splats. Law is committing capital murder out here with straight up heaves. Yeah, heat smashes. I think heat smashes in general are still pretty broken because they break armor. You can't parry them. A lot of them are plus. A lot of them cause environmental damage like the explosions, and a lot of them wall splats. So heat smashes are still pretty much overpowered. I think they obviously, especially like laws. Laws is plus frames on block, free mix up into stance, and then it splats from half screen, and then it could cause an environmental damage. Is OD. Duder says heat just needs not to be uber lenient when getting hit with it. I don't know what other game lets you have your meter up after being juggled for 10x seconds. Yeah, that's one of the issues obviously too, is that when you have heat and you comboing, let's say I'm comboing you and you're in heat, the heat is not going down still. Like the heat is still there while you getting comboed. I think the heat should be going down. While you getting hit, your heat should be going down. Your heat shouldn't stay the same. So that's one of the issues. So I agree with this guy. At the start, I thought we would have managed heat like this. Moreover, I hoped heat would bring both offensive and defensive option. I was definitely wrong. This also went viral on Reddit. People on Reddit were talking about it, but we just gonna read the tweets on my tweet instead of the Reddit, because Reddit is pretty toxic. Make heat need a heat engager to actually get access, and to make heat bursts needed to be in heat or in combo session. That's basically what I said though, because if you go into heat right after like a move that goes into heat, that's it for the whole match. You don't get heat anymore. What they could do too is that heat, like if you want to go heat after a move, you could press a specific button. Let's say press the heat button while you do the move instead of doing something like 4-4-3 and then instantly going into heat. They could do something like that, I think, and it'll make it so you don't just waste your heat just because you hit certain moves, right? To make it a little bit more balanced, because all the cheap stuff comes out of heat. Without heat, the game is pretty solid. Like you just playing regular Tekken. Project Tekken will never own their mistakes that the heat mechanic was. So no, they won't do this. Yeah, I'm not saying they're gonna do this. It's just a suggestion that's nobody's ever made, right? I'm all up for it being a usable once per round. B, relying by taxi, not grant free activation per round. Yeah, I think just being able to bust it out right when the match starts is kind of OD. I think that you got too much access to heat in Tekken 8. That's one of the problems. They should reduce how often you could go into heat. Supers and heat should be available once per match. Yeah, Rage Art, he means Rage Art. I agree. Heat, or the worst, heat comes back when you're on the final round before a loss. Nah, cause that caters too much to the person that's losing. I don't think anybody that's losing should be rewarded. This guy said, I think more so it should be that the infinite heat like June and Law gets nerfed. They don't really got infinite heat, but they do keep heat for a while. And just across the board to use all heat after one smash and dash. I shouldn't be able to use 3 heat smashes in 1 meter. That's not really heat smashes. He's thinking about moves like Lee's down 1+2, down 4, 3+4, or characters that have moves that get buffed in heat, or move heat only moves. Because a heat smash is a move that depletes your whole heat. Those moves are not heat smashes. They just moves that you get granted in heat, or moves that get property boosts in heat. So he's talking about something else. So I don't know. Yeah, he's confused. The game is kind of revolved around it. Yeah, that's why I said if it only lets you use it once per match, the game wouldn't be so revolved around it. It'll make the game more solid. It'll be a lot of work to balance around. Yeah, man, but it'll make the game more interesting too, right? Doing that balancing out a lot of plus interaction, returning death matches. Yeah, that's one thing too. Death matches, especially in rank, will be really good. It's whack that you only could do quick match if you want a first to 5 or first to 6. Too many things wrapped up in heat. Just nerf it. Heat should be sacrificed and meter from over and offense, so make the meter much shorter. Don't allow characters to regain heat without sacrificing safety or execution. Yeah, he's asking for a lot. This is like saying, what if Street Fighter 6 made it so you can, so once you run out of dry meter, you can't use it again for the whole match. Completely remaking the game's entire core concept. Might as well ask the ability to fly. This guy's kind of slow. Good alignment draw. Yeah, he's pretty slow. Because they don't need to remake the whole game just because you only could use heat once per match. Like, everything will be still the same. It's not like they changing too much about the game. It just, you use heat once per match, and that's it. And then when you do a move that goes into heat and you don't got no heat no more, you good. So it's not really changing a lot about the game. You're still gonna be able to go into heat after certain moves. It just is once per match. So this guy is kind of bugging. He probably doesn't even play Tekken. I think a good compromise would be if you let the heat meter build. Have E engages work like heat dashes. Like, it won't activate heat unless you hold forward. Yeah, like that's what I said. This is a good idea. That you have a button to activate heat so you won't just spend the heat. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's once per match. So this guy, he's smart. This guy right here, Slump. We could also get a choice between heat or rage. You cannot keep both. Yeah, they're not doing that, brother. It'd be moving the right direction, I would say. Heat is such a big part of Tekken 8, but having less of it would be nice. Yeah, a lot of people want less of it because heat is the biggest problem with the game. That's how you get the guard breaks and all that nonsense. They need more characters with moves that drain their heat guards to reduce the amount of time and pressure you need to deal with. Yeah, they should. Everybody's move should deplete their heat gauge. I think people still being able to keep their heat after doing mad heat moves or eating a combo is mad dumb. They need to change that. That would be an excellent change to the heat system. Maybe Rage Art could also be one to be. Yeah, a lot of people like my thing. Even like I said, even went viral on Reddit. For sure, it was shaking up the game. I think there are other stuff we can do, like keep the meter depleting during a combo. Yeah, that's what I think too. Get rid of heat engager, make heat burst slower so it's more easily steppable. It's easy to sidestep now. Heat engager, nah, because you need more ways to go into heat. So if you get rid of heat engager, the only way you could go into heat is by just doing raw heat. That's whack. That's mad risky. You're just gonna have to risk your whole light bar every single time just to do raw heat. But this last solution would make people even more aggressive. Yeah, I don't like that. Majin Obama said, been saying this for 3 years. They have to change how some characters work though, like Heihachi. Yeah. Engagers should build meter. Engagers should build heat meters so you're encouraged to use them. And then adjust RPS values. Reading a natural burst will grab or interrupt with a lower wood punishment removes heat. Oh yeah, what he's trying to say is that when you read a heat burst and you counter it with like a grab or a low, it should completely take you off of heat. Because let's say you do a heat burst, right, and I grab you out of it, you shouldn't still have heat. So that's a good idea. Like if you read a heat and you counter it, your heat should be gone. But like you said, like what he said, characters like Heihachi, they roll around it too much. So nah, because then I get to play with Devil Kazuya less. Nah, that's too bad, brother. Problem is if they do that, they would feel the need of buff characters to compensate. You don't really need to play buff characters. You could just play normal Tekken with every character. And it'll be like regular Tekken where characters have strengths and weaknesses without having heat making them have no weaknesses. Because heat pretty much makes you have no weaknesses. We don't need any more system change for the time being. We need them to focus on broken the game plan of almost every character in the cast. No, because they tried that and they made the game mad broken in season 2. So you can't be going back to the same stuff over and over just to make the game mad broken. Like this change I suggested would change the game so much that it'll feel like a new game. I still would have the option to go into heat with a move that is a heat engager on hit. If I can decide when to use a heat dash, I should be able to same as a heat engager. That'll be dope. It'll make the game more complicated though, but it'll be good. Imagine heat engagers only guarantee a follow-up hit. Imagine heat burst and combos hard spike for a demon pedal. Yeah, that's kind of broken. I'm all for this because seeing the animation of heat activating 10 times per match is tiring. Yeah, people don't like heat, man. It will make it a racing game at that point. Forcing 50-50 in a hurry to get. That means you're not a good player, Mr. Avocado Meat. Because people that are really good at Tekken, they will save their heat engagers and they won't use it right away. Scrubs are usually the guys that use heat engagers right away. So you got to get better at the game, brother. That's why as in MK11, people use their meters to break free from combos, use roll away, and final round with all the crushing blows. No, a good player is going to save their heat and use it in the opportunity where it could get a big advantage and start winning. Nobody's gonna just use the heat from the get-go. That's like saying, oh, just because I play Geese in Tekken 7 or Akuma and I have meter, right when I have meter, I'm gonna use it right away. Like, that's not how it works, brother. That's a you problem. That means if you're gonna force 50-50s to get to the third round and use all resources, like, that's you, brother. You gotta use your head a little bit more. They would have to rebalance stuff hard, but making rage arts one time per match would be hella sweet. Yeah, but I don't think they're doing that. They need to do that with rage arts. Having one every match is too excessive. Yeah, nah, just delete the lazy uninspired mechanic heat plus death of footsies. It will be Tekken 7 then if they do that. That's why you can't delete heat. It'll literally just be Tekken 7 again. I like this idea, to be honest. What about Heihachi's warrior instinct? You can still have your you know, your little warrior instinct and stuff. But obviously characters with I forgot what they call that, the install. There you go. Characters and installs are obviously gonna be better. What they could do is either take out installs completely or just give every character install to balance it. Because obviously characters with installs are going to be way better than everybody else. I wonder how heat engage would be handled. They should do it that you hold forward or have to press a button to go into heat after heat engages. Make it so it's optional rather than every time you hit a heat engager, they automatically go into heat. Like raid drives in OG Tekken 7, that would be cool. I think this is an interesting idea. Should be paired with a way to use heat engages while engaging. Yeah, exactly. Like, make Leroy's King available every round. Nah, you good on that, scrub. At this point, why even get the heat system? I don't really like the fact that it looks certain mind games. Like, how do you play Tekken when you only have one shot to land your mix-up? To compensate for this difficulty, they just made all the mix-ups so broken that anyone can mix anyone. Yeah, they want the game being accessible to everybody. They probably need to change how engages work as a whole, but yeah. Would also massively nerf combo length. Yep, that's the issue. Freaking combos go on forever. Well, no, most of the fighting games with mechanics, most of the problem with the heat is that most characters have almost heat, like Heihachi, Joe. Radar should be once per match. Bring back movement, it'll be fun. Make it would be. But some characters in the whole reworks. They work around heat as much as I have to say. Yes, that would be good. They should get rid of installs then to even work. It would suck to be forced to use them when the moves that put you into heat though. Yeah, that's why it will be good to have a move that automatically puts you in heat. When somebody puts you in heat, you have a move like hold forward or something, press the heat button, then you go into heat. Like optional you know, chances to go into heat. Nah, that will also buff the heat. Much powerful. No, it wouldn't buff the heat because it's one time per match. Best they should do is take away least icon with others more nerf. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. So there's no, this game is fine. No, it's not. That's why a lot of people are complaining. So you see a lot of it doesn't sound bad. Well, if they fix the excessive tracking, yeah, too much moves track way too much. So that's a big issue. So reduce tracking on stuff. So make it so characters have weaknesses to sidestep, you know. Bro, Soul Calibur 6 has Soul Charge. That's why that game is dead. You can use it as many times as you want. No one ever complained. They did complain because that game died, bro. What are you talking about? Nobody plays Soul Calibur anymore, bro. That's why a new one hasn't even come out. In my opinion, they should just nerf certain heat moves and remove heat bursts as combo extension. That way combo length is reduced. Yeah, that could work, I guess. That's not going to happen. No, I don't want to fight install character with my one-time heat. Alright, man. That's why I said they would have to just take out all installs or give everybody installs to compensate. I think it would work really well as an earned resource instead of a thing you're automatically given. Yeah, man. You're not allowed to think rational in Tekken 8. Seems like the obvious change to make. A lot of people like that. Namco might even hire me, bro, because of all the good changes I'm suggesting. They gotta have more BS than like Tekken 7 Connect with wall bounce. I think blocking low should give you heat. Nah, you asking for too much. This game is trash, but that's boring though. Not simulating enough. Yeah, you like that esports type stuff. Just remove stances after heat smash on block or heat smash. Tekken is good, but they all know checkmates don't make heat limited. They should just make a meter that you have to earn throughout the match. I said that when the game first came out. I said that. So yeah, guys, let me know what y'all think about this whole thing. People were going in, and it seems like it could be a good change for season 3. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about all this. I know it went viral on Reddit and people going ham on Reddit too. But yeah, man, let me know what y'all think. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out, take care, and laters.